Hi, this is Vicki at stampingvickysvisions.blogspot.com. Thanks for coming, and I've got a new card to show you today. It's one that I made with some of the new stuff from Stampin' Up. I thought it turned out really nice. It's a little bit different. It uses the thinlets. I'm not sure if you can see here, but they're all cut, but I've left them in the card. So I want to show you how I did that with a quick tip. So let's get started here. First, I used these two pieces in this thinlets die, and it comes with another big flower and then a separate little flower beside. Today, all we're going to use are these two. Oftentimes when I cut things out with my Big Shot, I'll put them down where I want them and then hook them on with these little post-it note tabs. So I'm going to cut that, and I've done some of this ahead so that it doesn't take quite so long, and you'll see here that this is cut. Now this can be a little bit of a puzzle, so if you don't like puzzles, this might not be your thing, but I'm using this little pick-me-up tool, and I'm putting these pieces right back in. Whoop. Sometimes you can get the die taken off with some of the pieces left in there. So there's the pieces. Now here's your quick tip. That needs to be glued down because I'm going to sponge the color onto that card. So this is what I did. I saw this on a YouTube from Jennifer McGuire. This is peel and stick that you would get to use in your kitchen. And what I've done was I've cut a piece off and put it in between this acetate so that I can use it over and over again. And what I'm doing is I'm laying that peel and stick down on the card right over top of all those little pieces, and I'm pressing it down really well. Now I can pick it up and turn it over, and I'm going to take this other thin piece of cardstock. It's just a scrap piece that I have. It doesn't have to be anything good because all this is going to be done is glued on. And I'm going to take my glue stick and I'm going to put glue all over the back of that piece so that when I put my card with all my pieces on it, they will stick. Turn this over, I might be able to get it on there straight. Okay, press that down really well. And then when you take this peel and stick paper off, if you just pull it real easy and follow your fingers along if you need to, you'll see that all those pieces are left right in your card. Now, here's another quick tip. I don't know if you can tell that or not with the light. Okay, here's another quick tip. I want to sponge color onto this flower and this leaf, but I don't want the color on the rest of the card. And I could be real tedious and do that, but this is my quick tip. Take a piece of wax paper, something that's real thin, and cut yourself a negative. So that's what I did with this. I just cut the negative, cut it out, and I'm using just the negative, and I'm covering up everything. I'm placing it right where the flower was cut out. So with that placed like that, then I'm going to bring in my colors, which I thought I had everything laying out, and I probably do, but I've covered something up. I'm sorry. I'm new to this, like I said, and I'm still getting myself organized on my desk. Okay. I'm using Blushing Bride and my sponge. I get these sponges and I cut them in sixths, thereabouts, and I'm just dabbing on the color. Don't have to be worried about going off because the wax paper is covering up my card. So I'm dabbing in my color where I want it. And then I'm going to put this one away. And then I put a little bit of So Saffron on. Thought it would be really neat. I have a rose that I really love, and it's got it's two-tone with the pink and the yellow, and I just love it. I just think it's beautiful. And here I'm using a finger dauber because I don't want quite as much color, and I'm just dabbing it around on there so that it has the two tones. I think I'm missing part of that. A little bit more around the edge. Every time you do this, it would be a little bit different because you're probably not going to be dabbing it in the same spot each time. So there's my flower. Now I can move my negative over, and I'm going to cover up my leaf section. I'm not going to cover it, I'm going to outline it with my negative. Tape it down. This is just painter's tape. It's a little bit more forgiving, and you don't have to worry about your cardstock maybe ripping quite as bad. I've never had it rip. Well, I shouldn't say never, I have, but if you're careful, it doesn't rip. You might have to be a little careful on this one because those little edges want to come up, and if you just come down over the top of that edge, you won't get it, the ink where you don't want it. So there's that, I think. Always lift it up and look. Yeah, looks like I went a little off there, but we can fix that. My two small flowers, I did not want them on this die. It would cut, and it would be the same, and it would cut out all these pieces. Like this one, it would cut all these pieces, and all you'd have is the outline left. And I didn't want that. I wanted the solid flower. So what I did was I stamped it, and then I cut it out. Excuse me, I stamped it, and then I sponged it, and then I cut it out. So I'm stamping it in Pool Party. Stamp it twice in the Pool Party. And then once again, I took a sponge dauber. This time, I'm using my Soft Sky because I didn't want it quite as dark. And I'm just putting all the color on there that I want, and I don't have to be careful because I'm going to do the fussy cutting and cut this out. So I would probably make that a little bit darker, but I've already done that for the sake of time. So here's my two pieces that I cut out. So I'm going to take my card and lay my pieces aside. Now I thought this background was just a little bit, it just needed a little bit of something. So what I have done is I have another stamp set that I really like, and it's called Gorgeous Grunge, and it has all these pretty neat little background stamps that you can use. And what I have done is I've taken, oh, where's the other half? I've used it. Here it is. It's already on a block. And this one is too big sometimes for me. I'm trying to stay on my video camera. So what I've done is I've cut it kind of right down the center, as you can see here. And you can put it back together if you want to use the whole thing, but sometimes it's just too big. So I cut it, and I'm using Soft Sky just to put just a little bit of texture. Too much ink on that. Like so. And then show you the card again. I popped these up. I popped this up. I put some rhinestones on. I put my whole panel on a piece of smoky slate, which is what I stamped these words in. And then I put all of that on a Blushing Bride piece of cardstock, which I want to show you another little tip, and that is our Blushing Bride cardstock, or our confetti. I think that's what this is called. I'm not sure what this is called. It's in the new Celebration catalog. I should have looked that up. And you'll notice I have some washi tape here, and the reason for that is I saw this on another channel. What you do is you take your cardstock and you line it up to the edge of your washi tape. And the reason for that is this is longer than the 5 1/2 that our cardstock is. So to get it completely centered, measure from here to here and here to here and get it the same on both sides of your cardstock. Put a piece of washi tape at both ends, and then when you come back to put your cardstock in there every single time, you'll have it centered exactly. So then you take that and you run that through your big shot, and you end up with this. As you can see, the center of this one doesn't have any embossing. So for my card, I don't really need that because I covered it up. And on the inside, if you want to, you could always put an extra sentiment here so that it looked like you meant to do that. Well, I hope that's not as clear as mud, and I hope that's something that you could follow. I'm glad you joined me, and I hope you'll come back again to see me at Vicki Milliard, or stop by and see me at stampingvickysvisions.blogspot.com. Have a good day.